final minutes of the final hour.
Sir, thank you very much for this invite. Incredible visuals that I've had a chance to see. I was one of the lucky ones who sort of beat the crowd on this immersion of King Tut. Right. But before we get into this, I've got to ask you though, because you kind of talked about this in the beginning of this. You remember 1979 when the big thing in Toronto was King Tut, right down to the point where even the Toronto Maple Leafs had the pyramid power underneath their seats, and hopefully they were going to go on to win the Stanley Cup. It didn't happen, but they were hoping.
I know. It was an amazing time. I mean, my wife and I had just moved to Toronto a year before, and we lived on McCall Street, right by the AGO, and we saw the crowds all the time there, and we went to see it, and it was exciting. But when I think back on it, what did it mean? We knew there was a guy named King Tut whose tomb was discovered, and we knew they had all these objects, and we knew they did mummification, and we could rattle off some facts to you, and we all found it kind of glamorous and exciting, but I don't think we knew what it meant. I don't think we knew why they buried people in those tombs, why they mummified the bodies. Maybe there was a little card would tell you here and there, but when we decided to do a King Tut show, we thought, no, let's go, because the world has changed. People now want to know about other people. You know, the old King Tut things were very much what we call that Eurocentric, hey, we're going to show you, all of us Eurocentric people are going to show you what it was like in another part of the world. It's like, and it's not like that. Their culture, their beliefs, their religion is really valuable. It can teach us things today. And I think by helping people understand it and get immersed in it like we are here, it's a way of going, oh, yeah, I was just saying to another journalist, you ask most standard Westerners, death is scary. Yes. Death is, we run away from death. We deny it, we pretend it's not there. We come up with words for it. Oh, he passed on, he's no longer with us. Whereas the Egyptians knew it was a fact of life. You prepared for it. You built a tomb for it. You filled that tomb with all the things that were in your existence so you could do that last journey to get to a perfect afterlife. Life was good, but the afterlife was better.
Let's get into how this all works here.
Okay.
The moment that we walk into this building, what are the stages before we come into this incredible story?
First thing is you pass through a lobby area, right, where you have to get ready to give off your ticket. And we have, to maybe put you off guard and charm you, we have a couple of wonderful immersive things, right? Because the Egyptians would frequently mash up their gods. They would put an animal head with a human body with a bird's feet. They would do things like that. And so we thought, why don't we come up with a thing, if you stand in front of this screen and move, we will do a mashup of you with Egyptian icons. And so that relaxes people, but at the same time teaches them about things. And then we have another giant pillar full of all the basic facts about the Egyptians and death, which you can look at while you're waiting to give in your tickets. Then you come into the next chamber, where we've got all this great stuff on the walls, beautiful chance to do your Instagrammable photos with you against the giant gold scarab beetle, I love this. The Egyptians believed that the beetle, which used to very carefully push a little morsel of dung along the ground, was how kind of the sun pushed along the sky. So it became a symbol for it. And then we have a replica mummy case and a mummy and a replica coffin given to us by the government of Egypt. So you can see those things. You can see a timeline of how it also, you get all the facts you need.
Then we come into the main chamber. What happens here?
In the main chamber, we have a 30-minute video movie presentation of the 12 steps at night. That night after when you die and your tomb is sealed, the journey through the underworld. that you have to go on, that Tutankhamun went on, guided by King Ra, the sun god, and the terrors you have to face. You know, the droughts, the flooding, the destruction. Your boat gets wrecked. A giant serpent surrounds you and wants to crush you. There are all these battles to be fought if you were to get to the end and have a perfect afterlife.
What do you hope fans will get from this? Because, you know, there are people who have watched the movies and, you know, and they've seen documentaries, but this is something different because I don't want to give too much away, but there's one, I'll call it a scene, where I literally felt like I was actually in it. And I felt it moving, and I almost felt a little nauseous, which was great because I felt like I was sucked right into it.
Well, that's it. The concept is we are in this one big room, and it's the tomb. And everything will happen around us. Our name immersive isn't just a catchphrase. People nowadays say, oh, it's immersive this, it's immersive that. Well, no, it means it's a show you go to and watch. This surrounds you. I mean, look now here. You're part of this. You can't run away from it. And you're on the journey. And I think it should have, as you said, like a physical effect on you, you know? And also because you know what it's about. It's not just nice pictures. It's, I'm going to the light. I'm fighting death. I'm fighting chaos. I'm fighting destruction. And I'm going to be rewarded. Look at this. It will all be beautiful, you know? And it's a way to look at death. It's a way to look at life. It's a way to look at spirituality. And I think it's something after the last couple of years we've been through, we need something. And everybody can have a different religion. And everybody can have a different belief. But this is in a way so different from what the average Torontonian lives with, the average one. There are people who this is part of their culture. But the average Torontonian doesn't live with this. I want them to immerse in it, to feel it, and to come out afterwards and just go, wow, let's go have a beer and think about life for a bit. You know, that's what it really should do to you.
And it definitely does.
Great.
My friend, thank you so much for this interview, this great exhibit, and I know fans are going to love this. Thank you so much.
I'm so happy you felt that way about it. You're the person we want to get to.